The last obstacle to faith is our image of God. Faith is mysticism. It's in plain sight, but cannot be seen. The holy may appear in any moment. Faith is a state of consciousness. Faith experiences sometimes seem to arrive by accident. It's a good time to become accident-prone. There are many paths to faith. The holy may appear in any moment. We must learn to become poets of the commonplace. We must be sensitive to the depth of every day, to the extraordinary that bursts from the mundane, to the marvelous ways of what we take for granted. Our words about faith, our understandings, our theologies, are expressions of our evolving being. They are inadequate, yet necessary, because we have to live as someone at some time, in some place. We need to make a clear distinction between faith and belief. Faith is not belief in spite of evidence. Faith is life in scorn of consequence. When our beliefs become outdated and no longer line up with the way we have come to understand reality, faith allows us to let go of the outdated belief structures. I hear you're writing a book on theology. I hope you have a good title. I have the perfect title. Has it ever occurred to you that you might be wrong? There are no shortcuts to faith, just methods of forgetting we pretend. Our theologies should evolve with our levels of consciousness. To think that our models of human experience are normative and non-negotiable is to confuse faith with understanding or belief. Faith is not belief in spite of evidence.
Since I was a child, I tried to be the best. So what happened? My family and friends all said I was blessed. So what happened? It was supposed to be all so exciting, to be teaching of Christ across the sea. But I allowed my faith to be shaken. Oh, what's the matter with me? I've always longed to help the needy, to do the things I never dared. This was the time for me to step up. So then why was I so scared? A warlord who shoots people in the face. What's so scary about that? I must trust that my Lord is mightier and always has my back. Now I must be completely devout. I can't have even one shred of doubt. I believe that the Lord God created the universe. I believe that He sent His only Son to die for my sins. And I believe that ancient Jews built boats and sailed to America. I am a Mormon, and a Mormon just believes. You cannot just believe partway. You have to believe in it all. My problem was doubting the Lord's will instead of standing tall. I can't allow myself to have any doubt. It's time to set my worries free. Time to show the world what Elder Price was about and share the power inside of me. I believe that God has a plan for all of us. I believe that plan involves me getting my own planet. And I believe that the current president of the church, Thomas Monson, speaks directly to God. I am a Mormon, and dang it, a Mormon just believes. I know that I must go and do the things my God commands. I realize now why He sent me here. If you ask the Lord in faith, He will always answer you. Just believe in Him and have no fear.
General! We have an intruder! He just walked right into camp!
I believe that Satan has a hold of you. I believe
this?
This is the moment I was born to do. And I feel so incredible to be sharing my faith with you. The scriptures say that if you ask in faith, if you ask God himself, you'll know. But you must ask him without any doubt, and let your spirit grow. I believe that God lives on a planet called Kolob. I believe that Jesus has his own planet as well. And I believe that the Garden of Eden was in Jackson County, Missouri. Believe, the Lord will reveal it. And you'll know it's all true, you'll just feel it. You'll be a Mormon, and by gosh, a Mormon just believe. A Mormon just believe. Oh, I believe. I believe.
Mormons just believe is to confuse belief with faith. We create a system of belief that we hang on to even as the evidence of our life experience proves it to be an inadequate expression of our time. Letting go of the outdated belief structure is faith, or life in scorn of consequence. Hanging on to our outdated belief structure is lack of faith. Yet, existentialists have taught us that we have to live as someone at some time, in some place. We have to believe in something so as to give our lives meaning. We have to make an attempt to articulate our faith. In those attempts, we are doing theology. You've taken a great load off my mind. Sound theology has a way of doing that. Theology allows us to pass on our faith to our children. Sound theology allows children to live enchanted lives. Sound theology allows our children to build a solid foundation for higher levels of consciousness. But at some point our children need to be told that the sacred is infinitely more than our myths, metaphors, and doctrines. The sacred is infinitely more than the masked dancers. They need to be offered a way to find meaning in life consistent to the way we have come to understand the world. They need to be offered a way to live a mature spiritual life. Faith experiences usually elicit a response. It could be a work of art or a piece of music. The response also could come in the form of words. Theology comes from two Greek words, theos, which means God, and logos, which means word. Literally, theology means words about God. That is an etymological definition which, while accurate insofar as it goes, does not say quite enough. Nearly 1,000 years ago, Saint Anselm of Canterbury defined theology as follows. Theology is fideus correns intellectum, faith seeking understanding. This definition is excellent because it highlights the distinction between faith and theology, as well as its endless quest. Faith is affinity, attraction, felt communication without words, without mediation. It's unexplainable. Faith is metacognitive, meta-articulate, meta-reflective, meta-intellectual. Faith is formless. Faith is a state of being. Theology is explicit, fully and clearly expressed, leaving nothing implied. In faith we know God, but we cannot conceptualize God. Theology is what happens when faith tries to express itself. We like thinking we have God and the Bible figured out and captured in a tidy little system, but theology is always inadequate, since faith deals with the realities that cannot be fully, nor properly, expressed. Comparing essentialism to existentialism is another way to help clarify the distinction between faith and theology. An essentialist lives as if essence precedes existence. An essentialist says life has meaning, so we live. An existentialist lives as if existence precedes essence.
An existentialist says we live life so life has meaning. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. The essentialist Socrates said to be is to do. The existentialist Sartre said to do is to be. Sinatra says doobie-doobie-doo. Sinatra is correct. Essentialists and existentialists are both right. The depth of reality isn't one or the other. Reality is paradoxical. The opposite of a profound truth is not a lie. The opposite of a profound truth is another profound truth. The tension between the two poles of the paradox manifests itself in eros, a restlessness for perfect unity, complexity, and consciousness, a restlessness for perfect beauty, truth, and goodness, a restlessness for wholeness, a restlessness for God. Our words about faith, our understandings, our theologies, are expressions of our evolving being. They are inadequate, yet necessary, because we have to live as someone at some time in some place, so we continue to be, to have faith experiences, and we continue to do, to express and live out our faith experiences, but are never satisfied. We are evolving. There is only one faith, but we need and should have many understandings of our one faith. Different times of our lives need different understandings. Different parts of the world need different understandings. At different times of our evolution, we have different understandings. Our faith experiences are interpreted by our stage of development.